reasons you aren't getting a mining job. Conversations about mining. Hi, Jess. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Andrew. How are you going?
Yeah, good. Thank you. So today we're going to talk about the four reasons or the four most common reasons people struggle with getting mining jobs or they're not getting a mining job. So number one is you are looking in the wrong area of the industry. So I come across this all the time. People romanticize mining and they think that they're going to get a job in an iron ore mine, earning $150,000 a year on an even time roster, driving a great big dump truck on the surface. I tell everybody you need a TARDIS to go back 15 years to get one of those jobs because they don't really exist anymore. It's all gone driverless. Yeah, it's just crazy how people are still looking in where the jobs were from the mining booms that we've had in the past. So there was the big boom with iron ore that people look for, and also with the gas plants. So people often look for TA jobs and shutdown jobs and all that sort of stuff, and they're chasing the money that was sort of being offered when they were building the three big gas-fired, the big gas conversion plants around the country. And yeah, you're just not going to get money like that ever again. That was just a one-time deal. So yeah, I know you come across a fair few people doing the same thing, chasing in the wrong place.
We do. I get probably 3 or 4 emails every single day. I want a dump truck traineeship. I don't want to work underground. Well, you shoot
Move to
out of luck.
Kalgoorlie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
it's the only
also
place I
too
know.
the shutdown roles and all the people saying, "Man, I want a TA job, but I want 50 or 60 or 70 bucks an hour." It's not going to happen. It's not just it's not around anymore. Sorry, you
Yeah,
missed it.
yeah, it's $35 to $40 an hour now for a TA job. And,
Yep.
that's regularly coming up. And that's just because supply and demand. They've got so many people that want these jobs that think that they're going to get a $180,000 a year job being a TA because they read about it happening, sort of 5 or 6 years ago. Or no, more than that now, 8 years ago now. So, yeah. But yeah, it's just the area that it's moved to is gold and copper. So that's where all the money is. We've talked about it before. Today, as we're filming, the gold price is $3,650 an ounce. So huge price. Copper is around the $14,000 a ton mark. So everybody's having to hire new starters, and that's where they need bums in seats. So that's where you should be concentrating your look.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
And if you are looking, to relocate to Australia, make sure you do your research or reach out and give us a call or drop a comment on the videos or the posts and just ask where you should be moving because there are certain, like WA is obviously a no-brainer, but there are other parts of, Northern Territory and New South Wales and Queensland that do have mining going on, but you really need to do your research about where you're locating yourself because we have loads of people that just move over. Oh, I'm living in Melbourne or I'm living in Sydney in the city, and where can I want a FIFO job? And it's like, well, first of all, you need to move.
Yeah, exactly. So number two on our list for reasons people aren't getting jobs is no manual driver's license.
Those automatic driver's licenses shit me. Everyone should learn. This is just like my dad talking. Everyone should learn how to drive a manual.
Okay, so what
Yeah.
why do they have to have a manual driver's license and not an auto? Did you want to field that one?
Sure. It's in case of emergency, really. If you're out on site and you're working and something happens, there's an emergency and everyone needs to be, leave site safely in a vehicle, you have to be able to drive a manual vehicle. And 99% of all of the LVs on site are manual. You need
Yep.
to be able to drive that out. So that's really all it comes down to is it's safety.
Yep. When you're in the pit and the underground in the light vehicles, the regs actually say you have to be in low range 4-wheel drive and you have to have 3 gears, only 3 gears. So the fourth and fifth gear are all locked out. And you'll see the underground utes have got big cages on the gearboxes, so you physically can't put them into fourth and fifth gear. So yeah, so that's why that's like that. And like Jess said, all the emergency vehicles are normally light vehicles. So that's why everybody needs a manual car license. And if you don't have one, you need to go and get one because the only other way that you're going to get a job on a mine site is if you're related to somebody. Like I tell people, for us mere mortals, you're going to need a manual car license. If you're related to the boss, yeah, they can bend the rules a little bit, but, they don't like doing that much anymore. So get your manual license. Next one is number 3 is doing the wrong training or not having a good resume. So We get a lot of people that do R2 tickets, because you can use R2 tickets in the civil side of mining, and you can use them in shutdown work, and Coal in Queensland uses them. But none of the hard rock mines around the country on the production side of things use them. Everybody has to issue their own equipment tickets and procedures on site. So if you send your resume in full of R2 tickets to a gold mine or a copper mine, sometimes it can get culled because it just looks like you don't know how their mine works. So that's why the 3-step plan's a good way to go with the underground training. Teaches you how that mine works from top to bottom and all the rules. And and Jess will do your resume for you and sort that out.
Yeah, you really shouldn't be having to spend loads of money on loads of tickets to get a mining job. It's really not that hard. And Andrew and I bang our heads against a brick wall so much because people just get ripped off and spend so much money that they don't need to. You really don't need to do that. If you've got that manual driver's license, you've got that education, you can talk the talk, you've got that, and you've got a decent resume, there's really no reason why you shouldn't be getting a mining role, unless you're going for something specialized and you have to have tickets for it, you know, like welders or, you know, riggers or something like that, where and you've got experience of that. Yeah, but don't think that you're going to go out and do all your rigging tickets having zero experience and you're just going to stroll into a job either onshore or offshore. It's really not how it works. So please do your research. Reach out to us if you have any questions. Don't waste your money on tickets.
No.
Just have your driver's.
And yeah, if you are thinking about the rigging side of things, that's all shutdown work and civil work. And like we talked about at the start of it, it's not really where it's at the moment. Where they really need bums and seats is in the production mining side of things, you know, blowing stuff up and putting it in the back of the truck and carting it up to the mill to be processed. That's what they really need. And that brings me on to number 4. Where Jess already touched on this already, but not going where the jobs are. So, yeah, if you're going to relocate to Australia, Melbourne's not the place to go. Sydney's not the place to go. You should be relocating to the north of Queensland or WA or South Australia. Middle of New South Wales is a great place to go. And even Tasmania at the moment. There's a lot of work in Tasmania, but in Victoria, unfortunately, they're a bit they're a bit slow with there's a lot of mines supposed to be opening up in Victoria, but they're having trouble with the red tape with the government. So there's a few mines open up, but nowhere near as many as there should be. So at the moment, you know, I'd be steering clear of Victoria for looking for a job.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, just do your research, reach out, ask the question, give us a call, Google it, like do some research, especially if you are spending a lot of money to relocate from overseas. Really figure out if this is something that you want to get into, really figure out where the best places to be based. And to be honest, it's usually Perth, because there's a majority of the workers in WA. So yeah, have a look around.
I do job hunt video on Sunday now with a bit of information and do the prices. And there's a map on there that shows you where all the mines are. And you just have to look at what's around Kalgoorlie and going up the spine up to Leonora and Laverton and all through there. And there's just mines everywhere. Yeah. Cool. All right. So thanks for that, Jess. I hope that answers, you know, people's questions with the 4 things that people, you know, why they aren't getting a job. And if you've got any more questions about the industry or like to ask a question about the industry, please send it through. And if you can share this information around and like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.
Thanks.